Good morning, everyone, and how you all doing this morning? First of all, I would like to welcome you guys to the 14th episode of DJ Talk. And now, before we begin, I would like to wish you guys a happy holiday and other thing, a Merry Christmas, and hope you guys are enjoying this holiday season, and hope that everyone's wishes for something special becomes reality. Now, if you guys haven't heard the last episode, make sure you guys go check it out because it was both amazing and extraordinary. So, like I've said before, go check that out. So, without any further ado, let's get right to it. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to keep a low profile. The question is, what does it mean to keep a low profile? Well, that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Back to the question, what does it mean to keep a low profile? It means to avoid attracting attention to yourself. And also, there are multiple steps of how to keep a low profile. And the first one is reduce your visibility. If people can't see you, they can't target you. At one end of the spectrum is hidden inside your hotel. In some operating environments, this may be a practical and necessary approach to reduce risking it. But let's face it, it's boring as hell. At the other end of the spectrum, you're continually and about in the public eye, highly visible on the street, and mixing with large numbers of people. And that may be okay, but in some locations, it could be a recipe for trouble, particularly if you don't know the environment and don't know who you're mixing with. Your aim is to find a happy medium between these two extremes, which allows you to complete your work while at the same time not unnecessarily exposing yourself to risks and threats. The approach you take depends on where you are and what the risks and threats are to your safety and security. Number two, be unremarkable. Being unremarkable literally means having nothing about you that would cause someone else to bother remarking about you. That's not so easy to achieve, particularly as a foreigner in a remote township or an insular community. I've been in many locations where I haven't seen any other foreigners for weeks. I'm sure some of you have a similar experience during your own travels. Being remarkable relates in parts to your physical appearance. It's the visibly visibly obvious things about you that people will notice if they walk past you in the street or sit across from you in a cafe. You may be remarkable if You're one of the only few in town, or one of only a few people of your ethnicity. You're dressed significantly differently from everyone else. You're noticeably taller or shorter than everyone else. You have a physical characteristic that is noticeable and unusual. How would you describe yourself? If your answer is normal looking or kind of average, excuse me, then you're on your way to being unremarkable and maintaining a low profile. Being unremarkable can go beyond your physical appearance. You will also be remarkable if have a flamboyant personality. Perhaps you speak loudly when exciting, or you have a particular accent or way of speaking that makes people turn around and pay attention to you. If you're remarkable, you're probably also forgettable. People who have met you will soon forget they have, or at the least will forget any significant details about you. In higher risk environments, that's a good thing. Sadly, I find being unremarkable and forgettable easy. For the rest of you, it may be something you need to work at. Number three, manage your appearance. One of the most important things you can do to keep a low profile is to blend in with your immediate environment. You don't need to go fully native, but you do need to roughly match the colors around you and the styles. That said, a Schwaller Camin's is remarkable comfortable. As an example, if everyone around you is wearing a long sleeve button up shirts, you'll stand out if you're wearing a t-shirt. That may that may be cool in Orlando, but not so much in Rawalpindi or Aleppo. Aleppo. I'll take a deeper dive into how you can physically blend into your environment in a separate article. It seems like a simple concept, but when you unpack it, there's quite a bit there. Number four, limit the scope of interactions. The more people you interact with, the more people that know you exist. The more people that know you exist, the higher the probability that you will eventually come across someone who may intend to do you harm, or who is in the contact with someone who may intend to do you harm. Over time, interaction can increase your risk exposure. An effective way to proactively manage your risk exposure is to limit your interaction to only those people who you need to interact with to complete your project or assignment. At the same time, you shouldn't shut yourself off from the world, as this can reduce your access to local information, which may alert you to new threats. Rather, be discerning and selective with regards to who you establish and maintain contact with. There are also aspects of depth and predictability to your interactions. For example, if you're going to the same coffee shop for breakfast every morning, eventually the staff and regular customers will get to know you. In higher risk environments, it's better not to develop these routines. Number five, layer information about yourself. Be remarkable isn't just about how you look, it's also about who you are and what you do. It's about the impression people out get of you when they learn more about you. Are you just a manager or are you just a designer working for, excuse the background, working for one of the world's best design studios? Always be mindful about the information you share about yourself. The more people know about you, the more they'll naturally bond with you, and the less they'll be able to forget you. This may be totally okay, but the process of sharing information should always be a conscious one. People will ill intend may also use this information to monitor you or target you. As a guide, only tell people what they need to know to be able to interface with you effectively in a specific context. If you go to a cafe, the cashier doesn't need to know your name, nationality, or what you do for a living. Your driver doesn't the driver needs to know which hotel or guest house you are staying at and where you are heading next. But doesn't need to know your home address back in your country, or rather you plan to go tomorrow. I'm not saying don't share any information at all. That would be weird. But rather be selective in what you do share and share it consciously. You may, for example, share personal information about your childhood and family to build a closer relationship with your local fixer, but you still may still withhold details about your how much money you make or what your views are in the local political situation. The simplest way to avoid revealing unnecessary information is to focus the topic of the conversation on the other person. Most people are happy to talk about themselves. So, why not give them the opportunity? It's interesting for you to get to know the people around you. This allows you to assess their trustworthiness over time. And it also demonstrates the details. They don't need to be true. It's an ill citation technique. You can reveal personal information about yourself in an effort to get the other person to recuperate. It's it's also a technique people can use on you in a effort to engineer a relationship. Be mindful of that. So you see, sometimes you want to get away from things that aren't helping you out for a reason. So if you want to be away from things that are going to help you learn, they're going to help you learn to keep a low profile. It'll be easier than said. One of my family members one time told me this: whatever you do, always keep a low profile and do not give out any information. Because if you do, it will cost you. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I take good advice from family members and I take this and all, but sometimes they just looking out for one of their own. That's the kind of family members that I have that look out for one of their own. It's like it's like they care. I mean, they always gonna care. I mean, and if they care, that's a good thing. So just keep that in mind. Not to say that in a bad way, but they're just doing it to protect you. And you know what? They were right because I had to see it with my own two eyes to believe. I mean, not that I don't believe them, but I just wanted to see it for myself. What I've learned throughout this path is that you have to put it in the hands of Jehovah, the one and only. Because if you do, your troubles are over and he'll keep you safe from the fakeness and pretenders, the people that say that they care and love about you. Sometimes you have to sometimes you have to see it for yourself to believe it. So it's best to keep a low profile. There's a verse that talks about keeping a low profile, and it says, well, not just one, but a couple of them. And it says, nothing is covered up that will not be revealed or hidden, that will not be known. And also, whatever whoever keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps himself out of trouble. Real good to hear these two verses that talk about keeping a low profile. And just like this verses, it's nothing more than a great example to all of us. As long as we do it the right way, we'll be fine. And nothing bad is going to happen to us. And there is a quote that says, keep a cool head and maintain a low profile. Never take the lead, but all aim to do something big. Couple of key words: keep a cool head and maintain a low profile. Well, I guess you heard the whole expression of cooler heads will prevail, and that is going to be like that for a very long time. And maintain a low profile, I guess we all know that we all got to keep a low profile. That is something that is what we have to do when it comes to this life in general. You know, in everyone's mind, they may look at you and say, "Oh, why is this person not doing m- doing like we're doing?" It's a bit selfish of that person to be arrogant and disrespectful. But but what they didn't know is that you're just keeping a low profile and not doing too much. So just in this time, it's for the best. And what is the similarities of low profile? Well, there are a couple of words like lay low, keep out of sight, hidden, private, humble, low key, secrecy, and last but not least, quiet. So sometimes we all have to learn a valuable lesson about how to keep a low profile, because there are some people who are the opposite of what you have in your possession and what you cherish in your life. So to end this episode, final word to say about this: never give in to the temptation to tell others because your biggest secret about what you have in life. Learn to keep a low profile. So I really hope you guys have learned something new today, but more importantly, I hope it went directly into your heart, your mind, and more importantly, your soul. So thank you guys for tuning in to this special episode. Be sure to keep the power of positivity going and have the power of being a winner in life. So stay tuned for the next episode of DJ Talk. Stay positive, stay consistent, and stay motivated because the best is yet to come. Peace out and hope you guys have a good day.